Let's talk about the story of the little prince. I need to practice again. That's why. Story about the little prince. Let's start. Chapter 1. Let's try it again. Okay, the little prince, chapter 1. When I was 6 years old, I saw a beautiful feature in a book. The book was called True Stories. The feature showed a boa constrictor eating a wild animal. Here is the feature. Take a look. In the book I read, boa constrictors eat their food whole in a single bite. After they have eaten, they cannot move because they are so full. They must rest for the next 6 months. I thought long and hard about this, then I used a color pencil to draw my first feature. My feature number 1, it looked like this. Take a look. I show my wonderful feature to some grown-ups. I ask if my feature made them feel afraid. They reply, "Why would a hat make us afraid?" I had not drawn a hat. My features show a boa constrictor that had eaten an elephant. So then I draw a second feature to help the grown-ups understand. My second feature show the inside of the same boa constrictor. Grown-ups always need help understanding things. My feature number 2 look like this. The grown-up told me to stop drawing the inside or outside of boa constrictor. They told me to learn math and history and geography instead. That is how at the age of 6, I gave up my dream of becoming a painter. I gave up because feature number 1 and feature number 2 were not a success. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and children get tired of explaining things to them over and over again. Instead of becoming a painter, I learned to fly airplanes. I flew all over the world. It is true that geography has been very useful. I can tell China from Arizona in a single glance. This information is quite helpful when you are lost at night. I have met many important people in my life. I have lived among grown-ups for a long time. I have seen them up close. This has not given me a better opinion of them. Whenever I met a grown-up who seemed to have some sense, I did a little test. I show feature number 1 to the grown-up. I wanted to see whether the grown-up really did understand. However, the grown-up always answered, "That is a hat." Therefore, I would not talk about boa constrictor or wild animals or star. Instead, sorry guys. I would talk about things that interest grown-ups. I would talk about golf and society and clothing, and the grown-up was always very glad to meet such a pleasant man. Chapter number 2. Let's go to chapter number 2. Sorry guys if my accent is not very good. 4 years, my life was lonely. I had no one I could really talk to. Then 6 years ago, my airplane broke down in the Sahara Desert. I was all alone. I knew that I had to fix my plane by myself without any help. It was a matter of life or death. I had a very small amount of drinking water. It would only last for about 8 days. On the first night in the desert, I fell asleep quickly. I was very tired. I was thousands of miles from anyone or anywhere. I felt more alone than a sailor alone on a boat. in the middle of the ocean, so you can imagine my surprise when a strange little voice woke me up early in the morning. The voice said, "If you please, draw me a ship." What? Draw me a ship? I, I jumped to my feet in shock and I saw a most unusual little boy by looking at me. Here is my best drawing of him. I made it later on. Of course, my drawing is far from perfect. The grown-ups made me stop drawing at the age of 6 when I had not learned to draw anything except the inside of outside. Sorry guys. I had not learned to draw anything except the inside and outside of boa constrictor. I looked at this little boy with great surprise. Remember that I was in the desert, thousands of miles from anyone or anywhere, but this young person did not seem lost or tired or hungry or afraid. He looked nothing like a child lost in the middle of the desert. When I was finally able to speak, I said to him, "Look, the little prince." "But what are you doing here?" Again he said, "If you please, draw me a ship." I did what he asked. I reached into my pocket. I pulled out a piece of paper and a pen. But then I remember something although I had learned many things in school. I did not know how to draw. In a rather cross voice, I told him so. But he replied, "That doesn't matter. Draw me a ship." Because I had never drawn a ship, I drew for him one of the two pictures I knew I could make. The feature of the outside of boa constrictor that I had eaten an elephant. He looked at it, then I was shocked to hear him say, "No, no, I don't want a boa constrictor that has eaten an elephant." Boa constrictor are very dangerous, and elephants are too big. Where I live, everything is very small. I need a ship. Draw me a ship. So I drew a ship. He looked at it carefully and said, "No, that one looks sick. Draw another." So I drew another one. My new friend smiled said, "That isn't a sheep, that's a ram. It has horn." I drew another feature, but he did not like this one either. "That sheep is too old. I want a sheep that will live a long time." I was in a hurry. I want to fix my plane, so I quickly drew the feature below and told him, "This is a box. The sheep you want is inside it." I was surprised to see his face light up. "That's exactly what I wanted. Do you think this sheep will need a lot to eat?" "Why?" "Because where I come from, everything is very small. This sheep will not need too much to eat. I given you a very small sheep." He looked closely at the drawing. "Not so small, really. Look, his fallen leaf." And that was how I first met the little prince. Chapter 3. It took a long time to find out where he came from. The little prince asked me many questions, but he never seemed to hear mine. I only learned about him through chance things he happened to say. When he saw my plane for this first time, When he saw my plane for the first time, "I will not try to draw my plane because that would be much too hard for me," he asked. "What is that thing?" "That is not a thing. It's fly. It is an airplane. It is my airplane." I was sorry guys. I was proud to tell him that I knew how to fly. He cried out, "What? You fell from the sky?" Yes, I said, "Oh, that is funny." And the little prince began laughing, which I did not like. I want my problem treated. Seriously? Finally, he said, "So you came from the sky too? What planet are you from?" Here was some information about the little prince's strange presence. I quickly asked him, "So you came from another planet?" But he did not speak. Then he answered gently, sorry guys. But he did not speak. Then he answered gently as he looked at the plane. Okay guys, let's take a look. It's true that you could not come from very far away, and he did not speak again for a long time. He took my drawing of a ship. Sorry guys. He took my drawing of a ship out of his pocket and studied. No. He took my drawing of a ship out of his pocket and studied it with pleasure. I was very interested in what the little prince said about other planet, other planets. I wanted to find out more, so I asked him, "Where did you come from, my little friend? Where is your home? Where do you want to take my ship?" After a while, he answered, "It is good that you gave me the box for the ship. At night, he can use it as his house." "Yes, of course. And if you are nice, I will give you something to tie up your ship during the day." My offer seemed to shock the little prince. "Tie him up? What a strange idea. But if you don't tie him up, he will walk around. He might get lost." My friend began laughing again. My friend began laughing again. Look, guys, a little prince. Okay. "Where do you think he will go?" "Anywhere, straight ahead." The little prince gravely said, "That doesn't matter. Everything is so small where I live." And in a voice that sounded almost sad, he added, "If he went straight ahead, he couldn't go very far." Okay, guys, I read chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and next time, later, maybe this chapter for later, I will read it again and practice how I pronounce, because I'm not good by reading. I just want to read and read. Reading is my best friend. Reading book. I love books and I love stories. Okay guys, just always remember that love yourself. No matter what happened, love yourself and be kind. Money is not everything, but God is always are beside us, and God is always watching us. The little prince teach me the words of very kind. You can learn from this book. I love this book very much. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, and thank you for always there for me. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next.